Welcome to another very important theme, having a successful bio-based business collaborating with relevant key partners. I would like to share some theoretical knowledge, aspects and practical insights with you on working with key partners. With these insights, I hope you can give your own bio-based business development a boost, regardless of your position in your value chain and regardless of the business phase you are in. Successful partnering is as important for bio-based startups as it is for scale-ups. Often, bio-based ideas can work in the laboratory phase, but fail in the just as important phase of commercialization. As mentioned in the theme about market opportunities, aligning everybody in the value chain to the common goal and strategy is vital. The capability to collaborate is becoming more critical with the emerging business models characterized by cooperation and relational networks. Imagine you are a vegetable grower wanting to valorize all aspects of production, including side streams. To do so successfully, working together with players from other sectors is a necessity. Often these players are looking for bio-based alternatives for their current feedstock. Suddenly, doing business with the pharmaceutical industry, for instance, or the packaging industry becomes a regularity. Bio-based business often results in unusual configurations of net chain participants, including educational institutes, centers of expertise, consultants, governmental organizations stimulating innovation, new connections between organizations, etc. All with their own agenda, challenges and goals. If you are familiar with the Ostenwalder's Canvas business model tool, I'm referring to the key partners building block of your business model. It refers to the partners you need to create and capture your bio-based business value. Let us consider the motives for collaborating for bio-based businesses. If success depends on the battle for feedstock, then agro-growers should be happy with all the attention for green building blocks. Even though agricultural and horticultural firms may have the advantage of being the owner and producers of biomass, they often lack scale, quantity, investment potential, refinement machinery, etc. to market their biomass by themselves. Hence, they need to look for partnering and collaboration with other growers. The motives for value chain players to collaborate horizontally with other growers and vertically with suppliers of biomass or buyers of biomass, such as waste-producing firms, are numerous. I mentioned 4 motives. Not all firms have all the resources needed to valorize their biomass, nor do they consider certain activities as key to them. For example, a flower grower with valuable feedstock for the bioplastics industry often does not have the knowledge, the money, the refining technology, or even the IP resources to put its biomass on the market by themselves. In addition, activities such as refining, shredding, extracting, etc. might not be regarded as key activities. Partnering is the key here to make use of or acquire each other's resources and activities in the bio-based process from plant to market. A second common motive is collaborating with non-competitors, knowledge institutes, competitors, subsidizing agencies, etc. to both reduce risk and uncertainty. As mentioned in the theme feedstock, successful bio-based product launches are rare and the process remains full of uncertainties regarding market demand, quality and quantity of virgin material supplied, and earning potential. Spreading the risk among more than one coalition or cluster partner can draw more players into the arena, increasing the potential for economies of scale. In other words, gathering enough biomass. This is a third motive for collaborating: economies of scale and scope, upscale potential and optimization. These reduce cost per unit. A fourth motive is trying to improve market position or expanding existing markets or entry into new markets. A go-it-alone strategy in the bio-based market has proven to be extremely difficult and uncertain. So players are willing to move forward together or help you to move forward. Think of knowledge institutes, expert centers, etc. Having discussed the motives for collaborating, let us now consider the specific forms these coalitions can take. Key partnering relates to working with those organizations that hold certain resources, such as technologies or intellect or money, or market knowledge, or performing certain activities that you are not doing or are unable to do, such as refining biomass, producing half products, or storing bio-based materials. Let us consider the 5 general forms of collaboration that organizations can engage in. First of all, the most well-known form is the simple buyer-supplier relationship. In this relationship, biomass and/or the services relating to it simply changes hands by by means of a transaction of funds and ownership. This process could be a firm selling its residual biostreams to a refinery without further connection to it. The advantages of this process are that it assures reliable supplies and stable sales. A disadvantage, however, of this process is that it's unclear to all players what the actual value could have been when remaining partly owner of the biomass passing through the value chain. A second common form is strategic alliances and trade cooperatives between non-competitors. In this form, various organizations work together to advance their bio-based ideas and products. The organizations in this strategic network remain independent and are their own legal entity. The main aspects used in the collaboration could be geographical location, we can call it a cluster, knowledge of biomass, content and refining, machinery, storing facility, laboratory space, etc. We talk of so-called co-opetition as a form of strategic partnership between competitors. This form is usually used when a single player lacks the volume to create enough product to be economically viable. A third form of collaboration is a joint venture to develop new bio-based businesses. This form is when two companies jointly set up a subsidiary to develop bio-based activities such as Sinvina, the joint venture of BASF and Avantium. A special form of working together in valorizing biomass is outsourcing or subcontracting. When production increases in scale, firms decide to focus on their core activities and source other activities out to other more specialized firms. The advantage of this strategy is that a firm can focus on becoming better at its core activities. A disadvantage of this approach is that the subcontractors might decide to enter the market by themselves, having gained experience and knowledge in the arrangement. For example, a tomato grower wants to have packaging made from its own waste stream in the greenhouse. Since the grower does not own a paper mill, it can subcontract the services to a packaging factory, after having its biomass shredded, removed and refined, of course. After which the grower receives the tomato packaging back from the paper factory. Curious? See one of the YouTube clips I mentioned in the reading list. 5. A far-reaching form of collaboration is the merger and acquisition. This strategy is when a player in the bio-based value chain integrates activities both forward and backward in the value chain. This can happen when, for example, a pharmaceutical firm acquires certain growers of valuable plant growers to be more efficient. Synergy effects are one of the advantages here. When thinking about teaming up with other partners, ask yourself, what form of collaboration does my bio-based business idea need? What do I prefer? Let us move forward by considering some of the critical success factors in interorganizational cooperation. Organizations working together should all bring something to the arrangement. For instance, biomass, product capacity, knowledge, market access, distribution, technology, machinery. In a strategic alliance, all interdependent parties need to benefit from co-working in the arrangement. However, not all collaborations work out well in bio-based business, just as in regular business collaborations. I now mention a few critical success factors for you to consider when you want to partner for success. First of all, be aware of differences in business culture, especially when dealing with cross-sector players. Since valorizing biomass also makes cross-sector partnering necessary, be aware of the differences in jargon or speak, but also cultures, planning horizons and scale. Deal with these carefully, without trying to change the partner. Second, choose the best fitting form of collaboration. Some forms are rigid and time-consuming and difficult to get out of. For your own situation in the chain, a looser form, such as a network or an alliance or outsourcing, could get you further. Third, businesses and innovations go through various phases from laboratory to market. With each phase, different partners can become valuable. Do not hesitate to surround yourself with the best fitting partners at the different stages. For example, in the beginning you might need knowledge and a laboratory work done. A research institute or university might be a good partner. However, when reaching the market stage, you might want to work with a different, more commercially oriented player. Trust is the magical word in interpersonal relationship, and this is also true in all interorganizational coalitions, whether they be non-bio-based or bio-based. Be open about your intentions and ask your partners to be open too. Openly discuss goals, expectations, motivation for collaboration and, if necessary, put matters and stakes on paper for all to note. Keep in mind that exploiting others will damage your reputation and possibly result in exclusion from any other subsequent endeavors in the bio-based value chain. Also, do not be surprised if vested interest of existing players in sectors inhibits change. New products and existing applications in new domains must compete with the conventional application of biomass. 5. Make sure you always partner with players who have a complementary goal, activity or resource in the relationship. You can partner also with competitors in a network as long as you know the collaboration is vitally important to both parties. A final factor worth mentioning is that after the startup phase, with possible subsidies and enthusiastic knowledge partners, there will be hopefully a time when market entry is in sight. That time is thrilling, but it means all the business rules of the game come into play, such as having a healthy business case and of course a market-driven product or service. Often the euphoria of the laboratory and experimental phase vanish quickly when faced with the reality of the harsh market and all its forces, such as Nova Lignin. Bear in mind that sustainably launching a bio-based product takes time, effort and a lot of patience. However, businesses can make use of various institutions and networks stimulating the use of bio-based products in their region, sector, province, etc. In the region of Southwest Holland, we have Biobased Delta, Greenport West Holland, a Center of Expertise Biobased, Center of Expertise for Plant Compounds, and for example, BioBoost coalitions ready to support and help bio-based innovation reach market entrance. For your bio-based business idea, which institutions can you find and name that can help you prosper? Let me conclude. We have been considering the motives for businesses to work together as well as the forms this can take. I mentioned various critical success factors for successful collaboration, and I hope you are aware of the helping hands and brains around your business in the form of local, national and international bio-based networks and bio-based oriented institutions. Of course, I have been cutting corners when explaining the aspects of partnering in business. However, there is much information available and reality always has exceptions. That is why I'm going to leave it up to you now to apply the insights to your own situation. Good luck!